Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Hasan Zeki Alp. I've been presenting you modern programming languages in my channel, and this time, this afternoon, I'll be presenting you Scala lessons. So far, I presented you 7 Scala lessons, and right now I'll be showing you. I will be describing you Java Scala lesson 8. Without wasting any time, I'd like to start up our program. Okay. In this time, I will give some examples about trade application. Trade can be considered such as struct or functions, and it can be inherited by means of extends keyword. Here, this is an example for that. I define here an trade equal, and I define is equal variable, so as to be any, its type any, and boolean, and I define here is not equal, so its type is any, and it's again boolean. However, in this case there is a negation mark here, is not equal, that is translated is not equal. So how to inherit this by using a class, point class. So my class point in extends equal, so that means it's gonna be used these arguments, these parameters, and I define 2 variables here, variable x, so it's to be an integer, and it's gonna be assigned as xc, and again I define the variable y, again integer, and it's gonna be assigned as yc. So this is the more interesting definition here, you guys, is equal, and object will be again any. Object is instance of, this is the keyword, right? Point. Okay, I recall here point, and this is logical and. Object as instance of point x identity equals to y, x equals to y. So as a result of this comparison, okay, as a result of this comparison, we will make a decision, and I use that comparison here, and this is my main Scala object, and I create an instance of point class here that described as above, and the first instance, p first, is gonna have these parameters. This is gonna be x, and this is gonna be y, and I create another instance of this point class, and the third one also, and just you can see here x is repeated twice, and y is not repeated twice. So as a result of this comparison, okay, p first is not equal to p second, and that's gonna give a true result, because it's not equal to, since it's constructed so as to be the negation, so it's gonna give a true result, in fact. And p first is not equal to p3. Actually, p first and p3 will give the similar result. So for this case, it's gonna be false. And for the third one, p first is not equal to p just 2. Okay, this is true, in fact. When we run this one, okay, we see that true stands for this one, right? Because in fact it is not does not meet this condition, and for this one does not meet, however does meet this condition. However, the negation is important here, and for the one the result will give an answer of true. How about another example? Okay, this is an example: value classes and universal traits. I here this it's going to be a universal trait, so it's going to extend any type, and within this trait framework, okay, just look here. I define a print function here, so it's going to print line, and it's going to print this. This is can be a void thing, and I define here a wrapper, and class wrapper extends any value with printable. So I will be using this one with printable, and when I create an instance of this new wrapper with argument 3, so just I can use this object with a method, print method here. I already print here, so 3 is going to be printed as a result of this combination. Of course, it's not itself. However, its memory location, memory value will be printed out on the screen. Okay. Wrapper 3. And how about 74? This one. I will give an example for pattern matching here. Okay. Let me start here. I define a match test. I define here match test function here. So it's gonna have one argument, integer, and this is the case in order to determine one-to-one correspondence. In case first, it's gonna assign as 1. In case it's 2, it's gonna assign as 2, and in case the others or the rest, it's gonna say many. And when we recall this match test function with 3 parameters, so just it's gonna test whether it meets this one or this one. No, that one meets the case, and many will be printed out on the screen. Okay, and let me show you another example for Scala 76. And this case, I'll give another example for pattern matching, and this is the match test. In this case, it's somehow in a confused manner or mixed manner, mingled manner, just I can say this one. And in case first, it's gonna assign as 1. O and E, and if it is 2, just like this character or the string, it's gonna assign as 2, and in case it's Y, it's gonna assign as Scala.int, and in case the other or the rest of the or the else or default value is gonna be assigned as many. When I look here, the main method, main function. Just I'd like to print out match test for 2. When I say 2, it's gonna print 2, the figure 2. When I recall this, such as this argument test, it's gonna say not a null, of course, and for the 1, it's gonna be printed as 1. So let me run this one. Okay, just we look here. It's called 2. Okay, 2 is corresponded with 2, and test is Okay, test will be the default value, you guys, even if even though it's not indicated here. So this underscore stands for this test value. So it recalls many, and for the first one, O and E will be assigned, will be displayed as 1. Just we have to carefully about this one. Okay. Matching uses case classes. This is another example for matching example. This is another case. I here assign where to start. Okay, here I here create an instance of this person class, okay, as Alice, and Alice and 21st 25 will be its arguments. I define I create another instance such as Bob, and third one Charlie, and each time when I create an instance of this person class, I always define 2 arguments. One argument for name, and the other argument as integer, probably their age. And this is a for loop here. This is the for loop. What is the condition to be repeated within this loop, you guys? Just the condition is that person will be a member of this list. Okay, person will be a list of this list, and this way person will be defined. How about the members of this list? Alice, Bob, and Charlie is 3 members. That's gonna be assigned for each time that a person is recalled. Person match. This is gonna be within this frame, this function block. Okay. Case person Alice 25. If it is mentioned as person Alice and 25, so print line hi Alice, and if in this case person Bob is recalled, so this time just print hi Bob, and how about this one, person name and age, there is no specified name and age. In this case just age will be the age, and years will be and name will be the name. And when we when we recall this structure, you have to mention name and age. Let me run this one. Okay. Here the first 2 you see, and how about the third one? Age 32. Okay. Name Charlie will be printed out. How about this one? 32. Okay, 32 corresponds to Charlie, and in name place Charlie will be placed. And it's an interrogation mark, just suggests that the one that's interrogated for 32 probably will be Charlie. That stands for that. Okay, Scala regular expressions. I here have to import this Scala utils mentioned regex in order to use these regular expression methods, and after mentioning this one matching.regex, so I can use this utility. I here define a pattern, so it's gonna be its type will be val value, and Scala.r. Okay, and I here define another value str. Scala is scalable and cool, so just this method will search for Scala. Okay, and let me run this one. Yes, it's already found, and it says some Scala. That means this search is run for this string, and it's already find some, and it's indicated like here, like this. And Scala 79 find all in method. This is an example for find all in. Just for this one, once again I have to import this utility. You have to always remember this, scala.util.matching.regex. And here I create an instance of this regex. Okay, and just look structure here, uppercase or lowercase and Scala, and this time I create another. I define another variable here, string. Scala is scalable and cool, and this time just patch and find all in string, and make string is gonna create a string for that one. Okay, find all for the first one and the second one. Scala and Scala is repeated twice, and first is accepted and the second is accepted and printed by placing a colon between them. And if we concern about regex, we have to mention replace first in. So this time our pattern is same again, once again. However, this time I say replace first in method. So when I run this one, okay, Scala is scalable. Scala word will be replaced with Java, and Java is scalable and cool expression will be printed out on the screen. And another regex example, matching regex module should be imported, and this time I here able A or E and backslash double backslash D, and this time I search if find all in within this pattern, and just replace a semicolon between them. Okay, the search structure just will looked up, and able is able first, and cool. So just this one able first will be printed out as a result of this method, this printing method. Okay, this is an example for exception handling. Sometimes some cases can occur, so as to give a warning for the user that has happened an exception. So take the necessary action in order to overcome this exception situation. So in Scala there is also a solution for that. Try catch structure can be used for that one. try catch, similar to Java structure. And within try block, okay, this is the interrogation or the comparison thing will be performed. I here define a variable f, an instance of file reader, input txt. This is the file name, and in case there is a file such as this one, okay, it does nothing. However, in case it does not find, it cannot find such a file. So this is the exception case. A file not found exception error will be printed out. And also additionally, I would like to print out such a message, missing file exception. Okay, just I'd like to run this one. Okay, it does not give any. What's wrong with this one? File exception, print line. I run it once again. Okay, anyway, I will take care of this one later. How about this one? Exception handling, the finally close. In addition to try and catch, there is a finally keyword here, and within the finally block, the thing that exists in finally block always performed as a result of this try catch interrogation inquiry, and exiting finally, that's going to be printed out on the screen. Let me run this one, whether determine whether this file exists or not. Exiting file. Okay, here it cannot find the file. However, it must give an example for that. I didn't understand what's wrong with this one. Okay, afterwards I will run on this. That's the end of this lesson, you guys. So far we have I presented you 7 lessons. There will be an lesson 8 probably in next week. So thanks for your watching me, and thanks for your time. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, you guys. Bye bye now.